Hello, I'm Christel. I'm here to do your monthly reading for the month of March. But first, I wanted to give you a quick overview of the astrological happenings in the month of March, because they will influence you anyway. So the first thing that happens on March the 3rd, so already in the beginning of next week, Mars is going to move signs. It's going from Taurus into Gemini, so it's getting a different vibe there. On the 13th, and for the universal time is 10:23 a.m. there's a new moon in Pisces, so daydreaming, intuition, intentions, but also, going after the hope, the desires. It's really good to set those intentions there. On the 20th, of course, the Sun goes into Aries, and another planet goes into Aries the day after. On the 21st, Venus joins the Sun in Aries, and Venus will be conjunct the Sun for a while. And Venus will stay in Aries for a few weeks. And then finally, at the end of the month, on the 28th, we'll have a full moon in Libra, and it's at 7:50 p.m. of the universal time. So have a look in your time zone where the full moon is, where the new moon is. So that is the general overview. So now I'm going to go put the camera down and start a reading. First, I wanted to say another thing is check out my website. I've rebranded it completely. I made it completely new, freshened it up. And so check it out. It's christelvangelder.com. I'll put the link in the comment box. So for now, let's start with the readings and do the real thing, what you're waiting for here. So this reading is for Taurus for the month of March 2021. I'll make some room here because I need a little bit more room. So these are you. These cards are really representing you, Taurus, which is a 10 of Wands and the 2 of Swords. Now I'm going to pull the cards, except for the messages cards first, and then we'll go into it. So this is what's going to happen as a story, and I'll pull some more cards underneath, and they work together like that. Okay, so you have the 10 of Wands and the 2 of Swords representing you. Then we have the 10 of Swords together with the 5 of Pentacles, the Death Rebirth card together with the King of Wands, and the Moon together with the 9 of Swords. So let's start here with, and I have to see a little bit how that comes into the camera. So 10 of Wands, it feels like you're on a journey, and I feel that journey feels a little bit heavy to you. It's not the easiest of journeys, and I feel, Taurus, this has a lot to do with the fact that Uranus is in your sign. Uranus transit Uranus is in the beginning of Taurus. It's around 6-7 degrees of Taurus. So those early Tauruses are going to find this, feel this more than if you're further out during the month of May. But I think that all Tauruses feel like everything is a bit heavy. And this, of course, the world situation as it is right now is contributing to that. And so I really feel this is how you're feeling, like everything is a little bit heavy. It's not easy. And the 2 of Swords indicates that there's a choice you'll have to make, some action you'll have to take. You don't know yet what that will be. This 2 of Swords, this lady is blindfolded. So whatever decision you need to take, I think you need to take your time for that, because you don't know. You don't know yet, what the next step will be, what the next year or the next month or the next period of the year will bring. It's all a little bit, up in the air. So you'll have to connect to your inner wisdom here. Now let's see what's happening here. So the Ten of Swords together with the Five of Pentacles, I feel that, the Ten of Swords in this deck is represented by birds. So birds here, air, swords is the element of air, thoughts, communications, the things you do mentally. It's about what you think, and what you think at the moment feels a lot like fear thinking, lack thinking, focusing on the things you don't have. And I'm not only talking here about materialistic stuff, I'm talking also about, emotional connections that you feel you don't have, or things that are lacking in your life, and that can be experiences, that can be money, that can be a job, that can be a relationship, that can be good friends. But there is this feeling of not enough, and it's mental. It's really in your mind. I feel it's not as much true as it is in your mind, but because you believe it, because you're in this phase of, everything's hard and it's difficult. Because of that, these thoughts are really taking on a role of itself, and they take on, how do you say that? It's like it's reality, you really believe that you're lacking. You really believe that things are not going like you want to, and that there is not enough to go around, of whatever that is. So this is sort of haunting you. Now, I really like this here. I really like this in the middle here. And with Aries as well, when I was doing the Aries reading, which was really funny, was that these cards here on this position for Aries were also more like supposed to be in the middle. And it feels like here with you, Taurus, it's a little bit the same thing. I feel that this death and rebirth and this King of Wands is sort of coming after these cards. I'll explain. So I feel that this King of Wands is telling you that, you have this creative fire. You have this. And this is part of who you are. It's very deep. The need to create, the need to feel passionate about something. And there is an opportunity to bring that into your life with the death and rebirth. But first, something has to change within you. So something that is related to, to these worries, to these thoughts, has to change. And I feel that is being done in these two cards. I feel these two cards is where you do the heavy lifting. The death and rebirth card is asking you to change. And this change needs to come from inside of you. It's not something that is going to change in your external world that is going then to make your internal world better. No, it's going to be the other way around. So first of all, your interior world here, this world, and that is also the world of your thoughts, that needs to change. So then this creative king can come out. Because if you stay in this world of, thoughts, and of this lack thinking, then you'll be blocking that king. And that is not the idea. The idea is for this king to come out and to let this king have reign and power over his kingdom. And you'll be able to do that. But I think here in these cards, we find the advice. So how to get here, how to get into the transformation, how to unleash the king, that is found in these cards. And first we have the moon. The moon is the card that really tells you to connect to your dreams, your imagination, but also your intuitive knowing, that bone knowing, the knowing that you have in the deepest parts of you. And we often don't connect to that knowing a lot because we're afraid of it sometimes, because we don't even believe it at times. But I tell you that that bone knowing is much more powerful than this ruminating thought knowing, mind knowing. This bone knowing, this gut knowing, this really deep inner knowing is so much more powerful than this. So let's see, this one is more powerful than this one. So that is the solution, you know. In order to bring about this transformation, you'll have to connect to that bone knowing, to your inner wisdom, your imagination, your intuition. But I feel the bone knowing is even more deeper than that. I feel this is the knowing that comes also from, you know, generations before you, sort of that the collective unconsciousness that you have inside you and that is part of you, and that comes from your ancestors, from, you know, if you believe in that, former lives. That bone knowing is much deeper than, you know, that intuition or the gut knowing you have. That's what I feel, and that's what you need to connect to. Now, this Nine of Swords, that is usually this card of stress, anxiety, worries, sadness, feeling that you're, you know, losing out on something, and that really worries you, that makes you sad, that makes you hurt. And I feel this is a card that, you know, for me, it tells me that if you don't trust this part in yourself, then you'll feel hurt and you'll stay in this not knowing where to do. And then you'll, you know, because this is swords again, swords is about really the thought, the air element again. So it's really the mental part. So then you'll stay in this, you know, going round in circles. But what is very interesting in this card is that, you know, the woman is walking almost away from these thoughts and towards that horizon. So it's like a prelude to this transformation that's going on. It feels like she knows she has to do something different, or she has to be different. She has to think differently. So she's walking to the new horizon. So that's a good way. And I feel that the new horizon is by connecting to the bone part of yourself, you know, that very intrinsic knowing that you have. Let me just center this right, and there's this, so that the light doesn't shine on it as well, because, you know, this is really just thoughts. This is not as much part of that bone knowing. And I feel that here there's you know, it shows the contradiction. It shows, you know, you connecting to the bone knowing, it's going to solve it, it's going to bring you here, it's going to unleash this king. But you staying in the thoughts and not walking to the sun, not walking towards that new dawn, that is going to keep you in this. You see how these two cards are dark? And so they're really connected. You know, these Five of Pentacles and these swords, that is that lack thinking, that is that thinking that, you know, the fear-based thinking, the thinking that things never enough, not good enough, that sort of thinking. So I really urge you to think about, you know, to step out of the mental part of you, to step out of that fear and lack thinking. It's going to pop up because there is this inner transformation going on, and that is not a thing you do quickly. The Death and Rebirth card, it is not something that is going to go very quickly. It's something you need patience for. I'm sorry. It's something that you need trust for as well. And that trust is here in the Moon card. So let's see what the messages say here. And these, I'll pull two cards randomly. One. And the second one. Let's see what happens. Okay, I really love this one. Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. So if you don't believe that your true knowing is enough and will get you out of there, and that the transformation is going on. You are supported. You are supported in that transformation. You have help. The universe is there. Whatever guides are walking alongside of you, they are there. And I feel, when I was saying here with the moon card, that there was also a sort of ancient collective unconsciousness there. I feel that, yes, maybe your ancestors, your lineage is present here to help you through this hard stuff and hard bit, and to help you with your choices. This choice is really between getting the king out or staying in these two cards. That is what this choice is about. So let's see what the other message card says for you. Okay, so Bobcat Spirit, let's see if you can read it. Life is a mystery. Yeah, life is a mystery. You don't know yet what choices you need to make. I think you do feel somewhere inside of you that choices need to be made, but you don't know which ones yet or how you're going to do that. And at the moment, that is not the most important part of it. I think the most important part of it at the moment is coping with that. It's hard. Coping with the fact that things are changing, coping with the fact that you're doing this intense work of transforming with the Death and Rebirth card, and that at times your thinking will be sort of blocking you and not helping you, not being helpful. But this is where you have to trust in life's mysteries. And when these two together, that spirit has your back and that life is a mystery, trust the spirit, trust the moon. Because, you don't know. You don't know yet because you're blindfolded here. So have some patience and have some trust, Taurus, because you're really going to need it. It was like this. Okay. So Taurus, that's it for you for March. I hope you let this unfold and don't force stuff. I think that's very important here. Just have the time and patience for this to unfold so you can unleash your creative king again. It's going to work out in the end, I feel, if you can stay with the transformation and not get drowned in doom thinking or false narratives. That is not helpful for you. And that's also not true because there is this inner knowing. And, you're sort of supported by the universe. Well, not sort of. You are supported by the universe. You are supported by, I think, by guides from your ancestry, from your lineage that are walking alongside you. So trust that. This is it for you, Taurus. I hope you liked it. Give me a like. More likes, more people reached. More people can be helped by maybe this reading. Who knows? Thank you for being here, and bye for now. Speak soon. Bye, Taurus.